Hello, and welcome to my General Biology 1 or Bio 111 course that is being looked at for EPIC Master Certification. My name is Kim Fishback, and I'm going to walk you through my class. So one of the things that I really want to focus on for my students is to make sure that the course is inviting and engaging, and also that the students know exactly what they need to do and understand the course expectations and the learning outcomes so that they can perform well on exams and master the material. So when students first join the class, they are greeted with a vibrant banner that really showcases all of the key themes that we cover in Bio 111. I have weekly announcements to help them stay on task. And this is also a place where they can kind of just check in and make sure they're moving in the right direction. When they click on the Getting Started tab, I've got some basic information about the course that lets them know that this course is specific for the Associates in Sciences degree. Some Associate in Art students may take the course, but they really should check with the instructor. I've got a little bit of a roadmap, so how they can orient themselves in Blackboard, highlighting that the lessons folder is where they will find the lecture and lab material. As you scroll down, I've got some information about how to get the required course materials, and then just a little bit about general course expectations. Bio 111 is one of those really hard courses, and sometimes students aren't aware of the amount of study time that they will need in order to be successful in the class. I've also got some interactives. Why are you taking Bio 111 this semester? When students do this, it's a way to help them really start to focus and get in the mindset of what their goals are and why they need to really focus on this course. I've got some general strategies for planning for success. So things about scheduling your time. We find that students, although they have the best of intentions, sometimes overschedule themselves. And then some different study hacks and some information on concept maps. I really like to use concept maps as a learning tool. And so students, when they are struggling, I will direct them to that folder. I've also got some tips for using Connect. This course uses the Connect resources from McGraw-Hill quite extensively. And so the students need to know how to navigate in that platform. I've got a tentative schedule as well posted in the Getting Started tab. Next up, I have my faculty information. So this is all of my contact information. I've got a picture so students know that I'm a real person. My office location, my email, and a little bit about me, just so students can really start to connect both with me as the instructor and know that they can get some help. When we move into the Lessons tab, students will have a little primer before they start. So this is all of the important paperwork, such as signing off on academic integrity and understanding my expectations for that, as well as FERPA release and things like that. When students complete that, they will be directed to the Unit 1. And you'll notice that each unit has a nice picture that kind of helps engage the students, and then a little blurb about what we'll be focusing on in that unit. So for Unit 1, we focus on biochemistry. When students enter into each unit, they're giving a tentative calendar so they can organize what to do and when. And they also have a unit introduction activity. And so these are important to kind of help students get in the mindset of what the entire unit is about. It's usually a short video with some questions or a case study, just to try to help them see, number one, what they'll be learning about, and number two, at the end of the unit, they go through a similar survey and they can assess that they have in fact learned some material or are looking at material in a new light. Each lesson has a topic and the learning outcomes. And so when students click on this folder and they start to review the provided PowerPoints and other course materials, they should know these are the topics, these are the things that they should be looking for, and this is what they should get out of this lesson. And so when we enter into the first unit, I've got a nice checklist of all the things that they need to do. I've got some little tips for how to navigate in the course. And then I've got the lecture materials. So anything that they need to read, I use all in capital letters, read, and this is kind of the lecture 1 introduction. Assignments have the keyword submit. And so they know that this is something that is due and there's a due date associated with it. And then I've got some other kind of just class engagement. So this is where they're introducing themselves on MS Teams. When we come to the labs follow the same general format. There's a topic, and then there's very specific learning outcomes. So this again helps students know what they need to learn, what they need to focus on. When they enter into the lab, there's a brief summary, again, highlighting what it is that they should be getting and learning. I've got some soft chalk lessons that were developed by a team member for Bio 111, and I've also got their labs. So, for example, the first lab activity is all about safety, and so students will see this and know they need to submit activities about safety. As we come down, we start talking about lab equipment and measurement, and all of their lab assignments are then posted. And so each of these activities correspond to a specific topic. And at the very end, they have a lab quiz. And so students can kind of see they've got several items to submit in order to complete this activity. As we move through, each unit and each lecture follows the same general trend. There's a nice check off of what needs to be done, some helpful tips, and then students are able to navigate by following really the words that are in capital letters: print, read, submit, those types of things. And so this is all meant to help engage the students, keep them focused, and help them know exactly what they need to learn. One of the activities that I ask my students to do is a digital portfolio. And this is an assignment where students have some choice. So the main goal is to get them working with science and to do science at home, to actually touch science in some way, as opposed to just doing everything on the computer. And students will use a virtual posting board called Padlet to post their activities and the questions that accompany each activities. And so throughout the semester, I have different submissions, all focusing on specific things that we are talking about through the semester. And so students will be able to work either at home or at wherever they're doing their coursework and try to go through and actually touch some of the science. At the end of the course, they will have submitted somewhere between 3 to 5 digital portfolio assignments showcasing what they've learned and applying their knowledge. I have the course resources tab, which is very important. This is where the syllabus is posted. I've got information on using MS Teams. My team site is very active. I also have information about taking exams, how to use Respondus, those types of things. For anyone that needs to find me when I'm on campus, I've got a campus map because generally I'm in Building H. And those are the main topics that I cover in course resources. I should also say that in course resources, I do provide some other information about some of the supports at Wake Tech, for example, the ILC and the STEM Center. I also talk about the START undergraduate research program, which is very near and dear to my heart, and I try to encourage as many students to participate in that as possible. And so all of these are measures that I've taken to really help get my students focused and engaged in science. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of my course. Thank you.